Welcome to Love Liaisons, the ultimate deep dive into the highs and lows and hilarities of modern relationships. I am Kathryn.
And I'm Marina, and we'll be your love liaisons. So pour yourself a nice glass of wine.
Or a hot cup of tea, and let's dive in. All right. So, Marina, I know that this is a topic you've been wanting to talk about for quite some time. So, I will let you start off.
Well, a couple of years ago, I saw this Steve Harvey episode where his advice to women was get yourself an ugly man. And hearing women complain about, I can't find a husband, I can't find a boyfriend, his advice is get you an ugly man. And if any of you have seen this clip, it's really popular. You can find it on YouTube. And he says, you know what? If you get an ugly man, he's not going to go anywhere. So you don't have to worry about him cheating on you. He's going to work hard for you. You could count on him to show up to your mama's house, to your friend's house, to wherever you go. He's going to be there with you. And this will be somebody who you can count on. So forget about chasing all these pretty boys. He even said, hey, if a fight breaks out, the ugly man will be there. He doesn't care if he gets hit in the face because it already looks like he's been punched in the face anyway. He can take a punch.
I think it goes both ways. There's a song, but I forget who sings it. It's a very old song, but I remember in high school, my English teacher used to play this song when we would walk in and being seated in our seats. And it's Jimmy Soul, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, get an ugly woman to be your wife. Do you know that song?
I actually didn't realize that that's a real song. I thought that was a joke, but yeah, definitely it goes both ways that if you find somebody who's not just there for the beauty, not just a pretty face, this is somebody who, you could really count on. But I wasn't thinking it more for women. I was thinking more of like the Steve Harvey method and I'm curious because I like to try it. I want to try it out. I'm tired of all these pretty young, handsome men, the ones that think that they're so good looking, and maybe they are, all the tall, dark, and handsome that basically everybody wants to be with. And yeah, they think that they're the prize. I think what Steve Harvey's saying is, and then he doesn't mean ugly like Quasimodo, like, Igor, He's just meaning somebody maybe like himself that's not a traditionally pretty boy. Maybe he's bald, maybe he's got a dad bod, maybe uh, his eyebrows don't match up perfectly or something like that. But underneath it all, it's a pretty good man.
I think it's important. And I think that a lot of people today have a tendency to focus so much on physical attributes. I'm not saying, like you said, you can't be disgusted with the person, but also someone that's like you. So if you look in the mirror and on a scale from 1 to 10, if you're a 2 and you're trying to get a 10, I'm not saying it can't happen and there's other factors involved, but being realistic, I think, is key. But I think it's so true because if you think about it this way, the man that has the great body, I'm talking the six
Six pack.
two, he has more night cream in his medicine cabinet than you do. Think about
Mhm.
how much time he's spending when he could be having that time spent rearing the children or with you, listening to you talk about your day or whatever. Like, if he is so self absorbed, and I'm not saying that all men are self absorbed that, have this nightly 2 hour routine or whatever, but just think about men like this that are posting pictures of themselves with their biceps and all of that. That's what their focus is, ladies. That's what their focus is gonna be, and it's not gonna be on you and enhancing the relationship. He's enhancing himself, right?
Yeah, and all that vanity and thinking that he's the prize and wanting maybe more and more women. I've been down that road. I've been down the road, the tall, dark, handsome, pretty boys, and that road has gone nowhere. So I'm actually going to take Steve Harvey's advice. I'm going to try to get me a quote, ugly
And
man.
think about it.
Honestly, what we're talking about is like an average guy, like an average dad. We're not looking for Denzel Washington here. We're just looking for an average guy. And honestly, I don't think Steve Harvey looks that bad. Especially, you know what? His fame, his money, his comedy, his personality make him look all right. But, when you take all
That's
that
the point.
yeah, when you take all that off, you're like, yeah, obviously nobody would put him in the top 10 most handsome celebrities ever.
But it's what else they're bringing to the table. So, and that's the whole thing with these dating apps that are so discouraging is because you're just looking, you're swiping right, swiping left, and you're not really getting to know the person. Maybe they're not the most well spoken person, right? We had Tina and Giovanni on, and he mentioned he had this horrible picture. And so you really need to give people a chance because you don't know just based on just looking at their profile for 2.5 seconds if they're really going to be an amazing person that you're passing up on. So I agree. I agree with it is finding someone that is going to be supportive all this. Not to say someone good looking can't. I mean, look at Matthew McConaughey. He's good looking. He's a good father, a good husband, as far as I know. He has a beautiful wife. Once again, they're a beautiful couple. But I think getting an ugly man to be your husband is not a bad idea.
And I think Matthew McConaughey is weird looking. So again, it's all in the eye of the beholder. I think he's got like a weird kind of nose or I mean, that's not my type though. That's really
No,
not my
he's
type. I
definitely
like
my type.
yeah, yeah. So that's really not my type. But yeah, of course I get that he's not ugly, but he's really just not my type. And
George Clooney.
yes, there we go. Yes, handsome, handsome. He is getting older and older, but yeah, he's still handsome. He is like I actually don't even know how tall he is, but he is tall, dark, and handsome. Or now tall, gray, and handsome.
And pepper is nice. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, that salt and pepper, he can push it anytime.
As my mom used to say, he can lay his shoes by my bed any night of the week.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But I think it's important again, for the man to think and know that you're beautiful. So it's okay for you to be more beautiful than he is handsome. I think it's weird the other way around when the guy thinks he's better looking than the woman. And then he's out there trying to gather a harem and that just doesn't work for me. So
And
I'm
that's
going to
in the beginning, but keep in mind, in the end, I'm trying to think, what is his name? Pierce Brosnan. His wife
yeah,
is
Pierce Brosnan,
gorgeous.
yeah.
She's gained some weight, but he stays with her because they built this relationship. But in the beginning, she definitely did not look like that. So my question is, would he have been with her if she
Mhm,
looked the way she did now? And so this goes back. Women, just
mhm.
get an ugly man to be your husband, to be your partner, because in the end, guess what? We're gonna get the gray hair. We're gonna get a little bit of a belly. But you know what? I call it the mileage. It makes us the people that we are, and it's laughing together and growing
Yeah.
together. And I like to laugh.
Yeah, I like to laugh too. And you know what? I'm gonna have the last laugh when I find me an ugly man.
We're gonna talk about it. Then on the episode, we're gonna talk about how it's going and finding the inner beauty, right?
Yes, yes. All right.
This conversation is making me thirsty,
I think I'm gonna have another sip of my wine.
and I'm gonna have a sip of my detox tea here, and I'm gonna go see if I can go find that ugly man.
All right, so I'm gonna have another sip of my wine.
And I'm gonna take a sip of my tea.
So keep sipping
Keep loving.
and keep laughing
Cheers for now.
from your love liaisons.